Who wants to pray, Sarah? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for.
Ooh, that sound like that. Evening. Right. Oh God.
All right, we are live.
I wanna ride with you, baby.
Feeling so strong. All right. Sing it for us. All right. Yeah, but it's on.
We live.
We are live.
Live, baby. Live. Right. Welcome back to the lockdown series. We appreciate y'all coming back as always. Today's episode is Who Are You Without the Doing? So basically we'll be discussing how opinions are like assholes and everyone has them. When should they matter and how to filter them out, that how to filter out the ones that do matter versus the ones that don't. So Chantel was actually telling me a story about what happened when she was at work, when she started a job. And you know how you get to know different people? But I'll let Chantel finish the story.
So I was hanging out with a coworker. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's probably gonna know who she is when she hears the story. Hey, I was hanging out with a coworker, and she was just telling me about a mutual coworker of ours. I guess they're friends. They do stuff, hang out, whatever. And the girl that I was hanging out with likes a guy. And she was just telling me how the other coworker would do little things here and there that would kind of make her question if she was really her friend or not. So after she tells me what she told me, she then asked me, so what do you think about her? What kind of vibes do you get from her? Mind you, I'm not this other girl's friend. We don't talk outside of, do I go inbound and outbound? That's it. So I told the girl, I was like, I don't have an opinion because I don't know her. I don't talk to her. And she was kind of like, okay. I feel that. So in my head, just how I think when it comes to situations like that, I feel like, me personally, I don't give opinions on people that I don't know, because I feel like that can lead to all type of mess. And then sometimes when you're talking to people, you don't know what they're going to go back into the other person. Because I think it's been situations with you where someone was confiding in you and you didn't even say nothing. Mm-hmm. And then they went back to the other person and was like, and Crystal didn't say nothing the whole time.
Not knowing that somebody else is right there hearing. But I mean, I didn't say anything the whole time. I would just sit on the phone. But yeah, that's true. So why is it that people always fish for a confirmation on whether they should be someone's friend or how they feel about somebody?
Through somebody else's
emotions.
Yeah, basically. So when do y'all feel like, when is a good time to not give your opinion? When should you keep your opinions to yourself?
We're kind of just asking two questions.
What was the first one?
I got two questions.
Right.
First one.
I was about to say.
Okay, what was the first question? What you say, Crystal?
The first one is, why do people fish for opinions
from other people?
So why do people have to get a confirmation from somebody else whether they should like somebody or should not like that person? Or if they're going to kick it with them or should they not kick it with them?
Because people are brilliant.
Yeah.
And people are brilliant, and just like assholes are important, so are people's opinions.
I think so I have actually been in this situation a few times, but I think the other person, it didn't come off. It wasn't a coworker, it was like a close friend. And she was saying, she gave me an situation that happened and then said, well, this person wants to be back in my life. Should I allow this person back into my life? She gave me different scenarios. I didn't really form an opinion on that person. I formed an opinion on the relationship. Only off of what she told me, not off of that person. I gave my opinion off because it was asked. So if it wasn't asked, I wouldn't have gave it.
But you didn't judge her off of the opinion.
Right.
Or off of the question.
Right. No, I didn't judge her off of opinion. I can't judge somebody I don't. I can only judge the situation she told me. I can't really judge the other side because it's two sides to a story.
Right.
Always.
Sarah, Deanna, y'all just looking.
I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
What's y'all's opinion?
Well, my opinion is, yeah, don't give that opinion. Because like you said, word travel, somebody can take what you say and mispull it up. But mainly too, because you don't really know the other person's point of view, their story, their walk of life. Like sometimes people misinterpret different things. Like giving an opinion to a certain extent, far as maybe opening up your friend, asking them certain questions to basically point back to them, going back to that person to talk to them, versus trying to get you to give them that validation that they're looking for. Like, don't feed into that. Basically find questions to say, well, have you asked that person that? Have you had that conversation with your friend? Or have you ever approached that person about it? Like open up your mind a little bit to make them probably go over there versus to try to.
I agree. That reminded me of one thing, like, you know, the game telephone. You start off saying one thing, and by the end of that line, that whole story gonna change.
Facts.
I feel like just be mindful about opinions you give. Go ahead, sis.
Everybody on mute, fussing at kids.
I would say that for me, most people do that for validation of their feelings. But if I do, I always ask, is this an opinion or is this something you want me to listen to for one? You want me to give an opinion or you want me to listen? But I always say, this is based off the situation at hand of what you're telling me. But I don't know the other side, so I wouldn't be able to really judge or say. I can only say based off of what you're telling me, because that gives me the option of either saying that person is wrong, or even the person who's asking if they might have been wrong for something, you know. So that's normally what I do. And then sometimes I don't give an opinion. So it just depends.
So have y'all ever, with your close friends, have y'all ever had a close friend that had a certain opinion about another individual and y'all had some type of, not hatred, but basically, have you ever not liked a person based on your close friend's opinion about them?
I have. I ain't gonna lie. I have. Not their opinion, but more so of
Situational.
Loyalty.
Because I'm like, if you did that to her and that's your friend, then how the fuck you gonna do me?
Right.
I was just gonna say, I have just someone not off of disliking them off the back, no, but just off of, I'm gonna keep my eye out on you because I know a few things. Not saying I'm judging you off of that, but I just gotta be careful about what I say, how I say it.
Yeah.
I just kind of, but I do like to allow people to give their own identity to me first, but I still keep in the back of my mind, like, okay, I did see the warning sign already. So I said,
I would say that when it comes to close friends, I normally be like, you don't fool my friend. I'm just looking out. No, I'm loyal to my friend. So I don't know if I should fool with you if she don't fool with you, type stuff. I will do that. But I might be cool with you or be like very friendly towards you, but that would mean we gonna rock like that.
Right.
Because my loyalty is to my friend.
Understood. So has it ever been a time where, when it comes to yourself, just as an individual, everybody, all of y'all, are there certain things that you wouldn't do, hypothetically speaking, that you wouldn't do just out of fear of other people's opinions?
Now we talking. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I just really just did not care about what the hell people would say, and if I didn't have kids, I'd probably strip.
Man,
Hey, put it out there, Chantel.
It's a lot of things.
If I just knew people, if I honestly did not care what people thought about me, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to strippers, people may have their own opinions about, if they're insecure or they have self-esteem issues. I personally feel like you got to be strong-minded to be a stripper.
Very strong-minded.
Some type of shit.
You got something that some people don't have.
Don't have, because I could not see me
Not giving a fuck.
Make
like
your
at the
money,
highest
boo.
level.
Make your money, boo.
I'm true. If I did not give a damn what people thought about me, and if I didn't have kids, that's what stops me too, because I have 2 daughters at that.
Aisha said, first, back to the first question that was asked. She said, my opinion would just be my perspective of the situation presented to me. I agree. I redirect people back to themselves to make the decision and not go off mine. To the last thing you just said, she said, I like who I like, and I'm not playing sides or disliking people just because someone else's opinion.
Strong-minded, that's what's up.
I feel like I would do prime example. So I took this nice day. I've been going through my vacation pictures, you know, reminiscing, and I need to post some shit. I ain't been nowhere. I need to post something. So I came across some, you know, nice pictures, nice little booty pictures. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to promote on my lash page, on my, sack sale. So got me on the shoulder. I was like, girl, you trying to get beat up. I sent it to Chris, and I was like, hey, how would you feel if I posted this picture? So his opinion, Matt control.
Right.
Post that
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Opinions does matter.
I agree.
Depending on the value the person holds with you.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So what about if Chris said he did not care? Would you have posted it? It wasn't more so about.
Oh my
I
God.
got you. Understood.
Okay.
I really don't care what people think. I'm at a position, I'm just like, you either like me or you don't. You're gonna judge me off the rep anyway. So you're gonna like my twerk action today, and tomorrow you're gonna like the business side. Like, it's just, I could care less of how you really feel. I don't feel like, the reason why I feel like that, because I feel like there's certain people that will guide me, and whoever's supposed to be in my life to guide me where I'm supposed to be, I will get there.
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
I agree. Understood. I used to feel like that when it came to like my pictures. I'm very shapy, for anybody who ain't seen me, very built. And I used to kind of be prude when it came to my social media page, because I would try to not, I wouldn't necessarily say hide my body, but I guess because of the way I'm shaped, I guess it could come out provocative. But now I don't give a damn. I'll turn around and post a little mirror shot. I don't do it all the time, but it's like, shit, and if you think what you think, you can think what you think. I don't give a damn.
Because when smaller framed girls do it, they don't consider it provocative.
That's right. It's not so
At
much.
all.
And there's girls who do stuff way worse. So I'm just like,
Exactly.
be a pose or show a little breast here and there or whatever. That's nothing.
Honestly, it's
Who
not.
I am today, as the age I am now, no, I don't really care about what people think of me, how they see me. I mean, honestly, a lot of people know that I am a lesbian, so I live off of people judging me every day. I have a kid with a woman, like, that's just my lifestyle. So if I really cared about opinions, I guess I would hide who I am today, but I haven't hid this since high school, so why should I start now? I am who I am.
Fact.
True. That's
That's me. Me and my roles and all, my flaws and all. You're gonna love me.
But I would say that there are some instances that you do care about opinions. If you have a business and you're trying to excel in your business, you would care about how people look at your brand. And if you're trying to excel or get somewhere. Now, as much some people say, no, I don't care, but then when it comes to certain things, you really do care. So
that's a good one. I definitely think that's a good one as far as when opinions should matter.
Personality, because we all have a lot of personality that we hold back off of because of building a brand. But it's like, I feel like once you get yourself to a certain level, you can do whatever you want. Example, look Cardi B. She was the ratchet of the ratchet. She cleaned it up. She got the white folks money, and now she back acting up. So you just get, calm down a little bit, and then that's just how I feel. I don't know, when it comes to opinions, when it comes to building a brand, that's it.
But did Cardi B really calm it down?
She did for a minute. For a minute, she was a mute. She was in interviews like, We was like, she was on something. We was like, what's wrong with her? She wasn't saying nothing.
That calm down lasted all of 2 seconds.
After them, I was
Because
after like
yeah,
a year
no,
and a
she
half,
ain't
when some checks, royalties start kicking in, she went back to herself.
Deanna, what were you gonna say?
Aisha is basically commenting off of what you guys are was saying. She said, I don't like that I care how others view me. I do feel I can get overlooked for a great opportunity if I let all my vacation-like tendencies leak completely from my personal life and spill into my business perspective. I agree. So keeping that separate, I feel like, get straight to the point. The president have a separate lifestyle. We don't never see him party.
And he turning up now though.
And he's turning up. Like, so I feel like there's a way that you should present yourself, your brand, etc. But I also feel like you still should be able to let your hair down and let it blow in the wind and not care about opinions to a certain extent. But that goes based off really what you hiding though. Like if you really you really have to care about what everybody think when you do let your hair down, then that's a different story. But that's
a good point. That's a good point.
When it goes back to what Sarah was saying, as far as like a business, how you should take into consideration how people view your business. When are some times that y'all feel like people's opinions should matter? When should you take an opinion into consideration? Because I know what's the saying? Well, I don't know, but I posted something the other day basically saying that you don't be deflected from the message just because of the messenger. Basically, because maybe you don't fuck with somebody, you may feel like you shouldn't listen to what they have to say, but in all actuality, they really might be spitting some game to you. Like they really might be telling you something because you don't fuck with them. You may feel like, fuck you and what you got to say, and your opinion don't really matter to me. But in all actuality, you should probably take heed as to what they're saying about you. When are sometimes specifically that y'all feel specific examples, whether it be, just something hypothetically or something that y'all been through, that maybe some other people have been through, where you feel like we should take people's opinions into consideration?
I'll speak. I'm gonna just say something general. When people have businesses, and let's say you have a hairline industry, and your friend or your neighbor have a hairline industry as well. Basically, instead of belittling that person because they don't have as many followers as you, or they're not as popping as you, look at the little things that they do have. Maybe they have great customer service skills. Like you can find something from somebody from the other side. That's just how I feel. Like you,
so you saying like
very close. They help you level up.
Okay.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
Can you repeat the question? Because I wanted to make sure I answered. I think I understood, but what was your question?
Yeah. Basically, when do you feel like other people's opinions should matter?
I think when they have a good record.
I can speak for me. I work in corporate, and in corporate, for one, I'm a Black woman and I have curves. And when you want a certain job and a certain level in a certain position at your workplace, you have to carry yourself in a certain manner. So someone may politely say something like, hey, you might not want to wear that, da, da, da. And you look and like, okay, if I'm trying to get here, maybe I need to watch how I dress, or maybe I need to watch how I do my hair. Maybe I can't put all the colors in my hair. I have to keep it natural, natural color. That's when the opinion matters, because if it's messing with where you're trying to excel to as far as money and taking care of your family, then you got to think about, okay, at this time, is it really about me, or is it about where I'm trying to go? So I took it into consideration, like literally the job I'm at now is the only job that I wore some color to, y'all. I put different colors in my hair. Like I really didn't care because I wasn't trying to go into management anymore. But beforehand, you got gold, you got brown and black weave, natural looking, not to the butt, not a stripper look. You got a blazer with, it's just I carry myself differently than what you would see outside.
Understood.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I personally respect someone's opinion if I notice where they come from, what they do. Like I fact check them. Like, why are you stating this opinion? Why should I believe your opinion? Like, what upholds you to even say that to me? Like, who are you basically for me to even care about your opinion? I like opinions, but at a point, I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna break it down to protect myself. Because if I agree to the opinion or if I feel like I'm gonna take it on, I'll be like, okay, give it some thought first before I move on it. I'm gonna make sure that it's factual. I'm gonna make sure that you have the right intentions, that just something that, I think is important. I think opinions do matter, but you have to be careful who it comes from and make sure it's in the right place.
So would that be more so like having somebody with the person who's holding the opinion, somebody of value to you?
I was just about to
They don't have to be, it could be a stripper. If she's giving me her opinion on how business people, just like Cardi B said, she learned a lot of her business talking to business people. I'm gonna fact check and be like, okay, so who you talk to, just listening. So they don't have to be like, what you mean value?
That
Like, what do you mean value?
Right, that's kind of
Should be
along the lines
value.
I was going down, the line that Sade is
Should be value.
like.
But everybody got different opinions of value. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
so
know.
what I mean by value is value. What I mean by value. Go ahead.
let me get my answer right quick. Because it's about to answer what exactly what.
Okay, go ahead.
So mine is I noticed for me, I listen to somebody's opinion more when they're more higher than me, where they're in a higher level than me on life or financially, business wise. I feel like I listen more to their opinions than somebody that's either on the same level than me. Just because I more so look up to them on a value wise versus somebody that's just me. That's more so when I take the opinion more critical because I feel like they can really teach me something because they're in a different space or they where I want to be or in a different space than I'm at.
So, it just depends. I'm kind of with all y'all mixture. Sometimes I'll call a friend who's on the same level as me and ask for an opinion, but doesn't mean that I feel like you're higher than. I probably just value your opinion. That's why I will call and ask. Or if you're in a different level of me as far as like a business, then of course I'm going to look for somebody who's already has a business or that's very strong business minded or that I've saw them grow their business from nothing to something. Or just an energy thing. If I feel like your energy is there, even though you may not be there, but you have the knowledge, you just don't even know it. I may open up doors to help you channel into that because you helping me, but you also helping yourself. So it just depends.
I think
Or
sometimes
like, what do you think?
Zoe has given me an opinion before, and I'm like, you only 7.
Yeah.
Hey,
Zoe.
Right.
when I tell you your
I
kids
listen to
will
them
give
all.
their opinions and make you check yourself, your children will give their opinions and make you check yourself for sure.
So
I agree.
that's me. I'm like, I agree. That's why I'm like, I feel like listening to them is, you should be listening to people's opinions. But like Aisha said, she says everyone might give an opinion. I would consider what they are saying. It doesn't mean I'm obligated to make those changes based off what they say. So that's me. I believe in all feedback. Any opinion you can give, something you're saying something for some reason, but it's still up to me if I'm going to put foot forward and make that change. But I feel like you should be very open. That's what help you grow because you hear stuff sometimes and it's not needed right now. But later in life, you be like, okay, somebody gave me that information or they made that opinion, or it might tie into what's going on in that relevant moment. So I say, stay alert.
Mhm. That's good, Deanna.
Stay alert.
That's good.
Some people, I think, okay, so with some people who fish for opinions, do y'all feel that like it helps them maintain their happiness, or do y'all feel like does opinions even play a part with happiness?
I like that. That's what you're asking. Because some people
Yeah.
do live off of people's opinions.
Yeah, because they want people
Do you think I should do that?
validation.
You think I should do this? You think I should do that? What do you think? What do you think? I'm like, damn.
People live off
Yes.
people's opinions because people live off validation from people to be able to move forward, do things, to invest. But
Or maybe they're just not confident.
Confident,
They lack
yeah.
confidence. They're not confident in the moves that they make, whether it be work, job, relationships. It's kind of sad.
It is.
Overthinkers do that. A lot of
Yeah.
overthinkers do that.
I think it also just depends on sincerity of that person, because there are some people who will try to ask for an opinion just to see what you would say. But in all actuality, they really don't care. You know, it just depends on the sincerity of that person.
But
If
does
they're
that,
really meaning it or not.
but does that define their happiness?
Some people do.
Yeah, I'm like some people, that's how they live. They operate off the confirmation of others. Like
Some people will look for an opinion that lines up with what they want you to say. So you ain't saying what I want. You ain't saying what
Right.
I want you to
Hold on.
say
That's not what I want to hear.
That's not what I want to hear.
Right.
Well, yes, for my opinion. That's not what I want to hear. Okay, well.
I feel like, to go back to what you said, I feel like a prime example are people who like grew up with parents with very high expectations. People like that, it might be hard for them to balance their happiness because they're constantly thinking about, yeah, what are my parents gonna think? What are my parents gonna think? What are my parents gonna think?
That brings me to like a question that I was thinking. You know, there's a lot of people that have children, and when you become a parent, you look to your parents for opinions. But sometimes parents they are over opinionated and they take over. How do you guys, or how did you guys handle when it came to your parents and raising your children and the opinions that they gave to you?
So,
my mama watching.
I use
me too.
some.
I said,
I mean, my mom gives me a lot of advice when it comes to parenting. Shoot, some of my friends give me advice when it comes to parenting. I think it just depends. If I want to use what you said, then I'll use it. If I don't want to use it, then I won't use it. But I appreciate it. Thank you for looking out. Thank you for saying it or letting me know that's what you did with me. But maybe I want to make that change because I didn't like it about myself. So I want her to do it differently. I'm gonna call you back in 20.
Yeah.
It just depends.
I value my mother's opinion, but at the same time, I do find it where we have issues when it comes to her outlook versus my outlook in parenting and the things that I want, you know, my kids to have. And I'm like, I don't need the opinion on everything. Like there are gonna be things I have to bump my head on when it comes to my own child to learn as a mother on what I should and shouldn't do when it comes to my children.
Right.
So I have seen where there's some parents that's so opinionated that the parent gives up and the grandparent ends up basically raising the kid.
Because they're over opinionated about how they should raise a child.
I respect my mother. I respect my grandmother. Those are the two elders in my life that I listen to, no matter how many times I've heard the story. And I kind of already know their opinion on parenting and the way they think. But I just try to listen and think about why they are thinking that way based on how they were raised at that time versus 1960 and 2020. So I kind of just pick and choose what I want to take from it, but I would never make my grandmother or my mother feel like what they're saying is not important.
right.
Or I just give them that time, give them that moment, because I know when I'm older and my kids are going to come to me, they ain't going to want to hear what I got to say.
Right.
How you handle your elders and how you let them have their opinion, but you still respect them. So that's how they'll treat you.
Right.
I personally haven't gotten to, my kids are 5 and 6 years old. I haven't hit a spot yet to where I've had to call my mom and ask for advice. Or, I mean, like small stuff, like when they were born, make sure you keep Vaseline on their butt, like stuff like that. But I feel like that's over. Like I kind of already knew it, but I mean, yeah, I'm listening to my mom. And my mom said she need Vaseline. Hell, she need Vaseline. And my mom said she hungry again. Hell, she hungry again. My mom said, I mean, shoot. So stuff
Right.
like that, like, yeah, I listen to it. But when they get a little older, and I never really had issues with my mom as far as talking goes, but I don't know. I've never really just called my dad and asked for advice, but
Lucky.
kind of like where Sade is on it. I would put myself in the position of remembering when I was a child and how I might have felt when I was a child versus, you know what I'm saying, where they're coming from raising me. There's two different time frames, and I think I would understand my kids a little bit better, you know.
If I could be transparent, earlier when y'all were talking about opinions, I was kind of quiet because I was listening to y'all talk about how y'all don't really care too much about people's opinion. The way I was brought up, I was a Jehovah's Witness for like 20 years. So it was very opinionated. It was very judgmental. So it was really hard for me to not care about people's opinions when that's how you were raised up to be. Like, you're supposed to care, uphold yourself, carry yourself a certain way. This is how you think. Then, I don't know. So I do care about everyone's opinion, but I do also see how, I don't know where I'm going with it. I had a point. I kind of forgot.
Okay. That's all right.
But, no, because I'm sorry.
I think you want to say something. You just don't know.
I do. I just
offending.
feel like the world that we live in, we can say that we don't care about people's opinion, but when you're sitting up here on social media, when it comes to bodies, when it comes to the hair, lashes, when it comes to the waist trainer, when it comes to dating and the men having opinions, when it comes to friendships and everyone has an opinion. So it's not, I honestly could not say that I don't care about people's opinion, because it's like we live in a world where we have these communities and these social lives. We have kids who's looking up to you. So you
need them.
Think about their opinions. You know what I'm saying?
To help you grow.
Yeah, I do believe in people's opinion, but then I also see how it could be a negative thing if you're brought up in a situation where a Jehovah's Witness or like a mindset of this is wrong, you can't cuss, you can't be this way, if you're this way, you're going to hell and you're gonna die. It just
like that is unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy. Like,
especially if you're on COVID.
Yeah. So what I do challenge people out there who may have been raised like me or are going through it, like looking at social media through COVID-19, and then you're looking in the mirror and your hair's messed up. Like, it's a real thing to care about your opinion and other people's opinions. I don't know. I just say to those people who are listening to always self-reflect and spend time with yourself and have people around you that love you no matter what, even if you have negative opinions and thoughts and things like that.
It sounds like
that's my long-winded.
Based off of that, it just sounds like you're saying that you have to learn how to decide whether the opinion is going to be needed for you or not needed for you. Mm-hmm. So that way it's not affecting you in a negative way.
But
yeah,
I also took from her that opinions are influences to people. The opinion that we see, I mean, people's opinions that's on social media and everything that's going on influences people to either do what they're doing or make a change. So I can see how the opinion does turn, and it turns to an influence.
That's good.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
Shit.
She thinking.
Through my head now. I was getting okay. We start off with answering the question, because now I got something to say off of that. Trying to grasp it. Well, to answer my questions on my parents, how I feel about my parents' opinion when it comes to my children. My mother's very opinionated, and sometimes I have to block her out because I do respect what she say, and I will sometimes get to doing the advice that she gave me versus sticking to what I was doing, when what I was doing was more suitable to me, which was what she said was more suitable for her. But I went with what she said because I respect her versus just going with what I thought. But if I would have followed my first mind, things would have went a different way when it comes to my children, when it comes to life. So sometimes I do have to block, but that's what I used to be like. I'm not like that now. As I grew, I started blocking her out and things started going a different way. And that's when me and her started bumping heads, because she like, if you would just did what I said, how I said do it, then this would have happened. So me and her had to come into understanding that as an adult, sometimes I have to bump my head, even when it comes to children. Everybody know your first child is your first trial. And
Right.
I would have did differently. My second and my third has experienced different things than my first, because my first one was just me learning how to be. But I had to tell her, allow me. She just came and took and was doing things in my place. You ain't doing it right, I got it. And I was allowing her to do it because I knew she knew how to do it. So, but when it came to my second child, my third child, I was like, I got it. Chill, relax. I don't need you no more. I got it. But we had to come to that understanding. She thought I was being disrespectful. She felt like I was pushing her out when I was just actually trying to, grasp being a parent on my own without necessarily knowing I have somebody that has my back. I appreciate it and I love you for it, but chill, it's all right.
Right. Well, I am going through all that currently in life. I just had my first baby. So this whole, parents having heavy opinions, with my parents being in a different state, the moment I pick up the phone and say hello, the next word is no. And all these things. And I just want to hang up the phone sometimes. However, I get that it's not out of spite of, because I don't know what I'm doing. Because they just want to share their experience with me, so I don't either stress too much or worry too much. So at the end of the day, I feel like, going back to a couple of people said this, it's not about just the opinion that's being delivered. It's like, what are you receiving from this from both parties? If your parent had a tough life in the past and they don't want your baby to fall down the stairs and bump their head and get a concussion, they're going to give you their opinions about why you're not supposed to have that baby on the edge 100 times.
You bought that gate, Jay? I told you put that gate over there.
Yeah, but it's up to you to either be the bigger person and let them just keep going, letting them get it out, because most of the time they just want to get it out. Just let them get it out. Like Sade was saying, be respectful, but at the same time, the actions that you take, that's still on you. Like, you're not being disrespectful. You don't have to make an announcement, oh, I'm going to take your opinion and I'm going to implement it today at this time. No, you don't have to make those announcements. You could take somebody's opinion, put it in your back pocket, save it for later, carry on. Now, they might not like you if you're not taking their opinion and not giving them
a phone call for about a week or four.
Right, you might not, they might talk about you and say some things, but I just feel like taking that information or getting opinions from your parents, just be respectful, because at the end of the day, they only telling you this stuff because they don't want you to go through those experiences.
They love you.
And your parents are just seeing what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah,
I guarantee that.
They see it, whether you take it.
She getting mature now.
Yeah, that's exactly how they see those things, because you implement that they done taught you. Or
was you about to say something before I ask my question? I saw you.
Who?
Was you about to say something? Oh, okay. All right. So I want to ask, why do you guys think people go through midlife crisis?
Whoa.
Like,
they too busy. They thought they knew it all. They ain't take no opinions. They
didn't at all.
They went through a change, menopause. No.
Damn.
Menopause has nothing to do with opinions now.
I don't know. Shit, I think midlife crisis. I feel like I done been through a starter life crisis.
I feel like
it could be because maybe they surround themselves with a lot of people that are career based, and maybe the path that they're going down isn't the same path that their friends are going down, but they're having a midlife crisis because they're lost. They don't know which way to go. They don't see how their friends are getting all this, but they not, or how their family getting all this, cousins, or whoever they look up to or friends with are getting all these higher things than they are. So then they start having anxiety and tripping and start thinking like, dang, I ain't gonna never be nothing in life because I can't even, I'm 30 now and I still ain't got it, then I ain't gonna make it. Or I'm 40 and I'm still here and they there. How was that possible?
So what is considered midlife now in 2020? Is midlife 30?
I'm say,
That's what I was
I'm
gonna
like,
ask.
even think
that's every 5
I
years,
don't
ain't it?
think it's a number. Like I just
I don't
shook
either.
it.
Cause I feel
Midlife
like I've
crisis
been
is-
through a midlife crisis maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a cat with 7 lives.
Aisha said possibly because they wore themselves out trying to please everyone else.
Or it could be a midlife crisis because they have a drastic change in life. Like maybe they went from a corporate world to doing, a stay-at-home job or
Yeah.
becoming a parent for the first time and having to stay home and they used to be in corporate. That could be overwhelming because it's something totally different to where it breaks you down because now you have to live your life a different way.
That makes sense because when something like y'all are talking about jobs, when you have something that you feel like defines you and then you lose it, I guess it kind of would make sense. It's like you lose yourself. You don't
You
know
will
what
lose
the hell's
yourself.
going on. You're trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? But I know for me, hell, I'm 27. I feel like I've been through several midlife crises. And just to go back to opinions, midlife crisis, all of it, I have to remind myself that everybody's life doesn't come like with the same blueprint. What somebody else's blueprint looks like,
Not sure.
mine's not gonna look like that. So I can't compare people's stage appearance to my behind the scenes shows. Because what I'm seeing is just, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what people did to get where they're at today.
Yeah.
So I can't compare it. I really just have to remind myself that I am who I am. I'm living my life. This is me. If I died tomorrow, whatever Joe, Kathy, Tanner, and Becky have to say about me, I'm not gonna be able to take that with me.
Those names.
Not Tanner and Becky.
All of them.
Like so,
You know what I'm
like you
saying?
said, everybody have their own walk of life.
That,
For real.
their
That's
opinions
real.
aren't gonna matter. So I have to
Your
shoot.
destiny, not mine.
Yeah, I have to just make sure that my decisions, I'm proactively making decisions. So I don't have to react to stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't necessarily have things that define who I am. Like I can say,
That's how
Well,
you do your midlife
I was
crisis?
just about to ask
I'm
that.
really finna lie, because I was about to say if I lose everything, I wouldn't be sad because that's a bold-faced ass lie. Yes, I would.
I have a question.
I would.
I have a question. Do you feel like the African American race has issues with people's opinions just because of our race?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we have it bad. This is the first thing that came to my mind. I think a lot of us feel like everybody that look like us is always hating. And I don't think that be the thing.
The-
A lot of times people really don't be hating, y'all.
It's your facial expressions.
Yeah, I got it bad. I have a resting bitch face.
I be like, dang, I'm just trying to congratulate you,
True.
honey.
Sometimes
That's-
people do be
that be
hating,
me.
but to
I be
answer
like,
your
why
question,
you so
Sade,
mean?
yes, I feel like us people of color, we do make it a
Mhm.
little bit difficult to receive other people's opinions.
Not
You may
used-
talk too proper. You don't talk hood enough. Oh, you
Mhm.
from
because
this-
we used to people
Ooh, you
criticizing
can't
us.
fi-
We're not used
like-
to
I
giving
used to get that
compliments.
one all the time that I sound
Like,
white.
dang.
Me
Why?
too.
What is
I
white
did not
sound
know
like?
that.
Same
What-
color.
Well, look, I do know what white sounds like. But as soon as I talk,
Happens.
Hey.
be like,
Hold on, but wait. So at my job, we have to ask gender. Like we have to ask, what is your race? What is your ethnicity? And I find myself sometimes pre-filling it out for them and then asking
Ooh.
because I think I
You
know
trying to
who
go
I'm
off of
talking
what
to.
they sound like.
What they sound
Like,
like.
oh, she Hispanic.
this
Oh,
is
she Chinese.
2020. They would tell you real quick.
Dead.
My name is Becky.
But that's so funny because at work, don't nobody know my race when I'm on the phone. Nobody know my
Becky.
race.
Deep ass
And I
voice,
love it.
Becky.
But when I'm on here and I hear myself, I be like, oh my God, I sound so ghetto. I sound so hard. But when I'm at work, my tone of voice and everything just automatically switch.
But you see, so to me though, I feel like even thinking
I
like
don't
that,
sound ghetto. I sound
no, even thinking like that, that's because of an opinion
Yeah.
that has been instilled in
Yeah.
our minds.
Because I used to do that. I used to
And
have
I
people
think-
tell me that I talk real white, so then I would try to put more bass in my voice. And
Okay.
yeah.
No, but when she just said that, it just
sound
clicked to
white.
me. I literally just said I feel like I sounded ghetto. Why? Because
Yeah.
loud. Because
Yeah.
I'm loud. So that opinion that people have stilled in my head that Black girls are loud and they did so now when
Well,
I
what makes that ghetto?
But
That's
you know what I know?
that's
I
my
don't know,
question.
just know I have a lot of friends that date out of the race, and
When I
that's what
talked
they
to my
say.
friend when I worked in a
Be
call center,
loud.
it was like when I got into sales, that proper white girl talk ain't work. When I talked to them like this, I was getting money. When I was
Yeah.
they was hanging up on me.
You ain't never lied. Our top collectors at work is the most cutthroatest
Cutthroat.
point. And I'll be like, how did they get hired?
Look, you guys, there's a lot of times that I get on the phone. First, my email has my picture of me on it, so I have to send it to clients. And I'm talking on the phone. I'm like, yeah, okay, so this what you do. And they're like, they get my picture and they're like, you're so.
And your name spelled SAIRRAJ.
And I was about to say her name don't even look like
Jay?
it. Don't even look like it. Say Sarah.
Exactly.
So
I don't know,
it's
people
the
be tripping me
confusion
out.
that you hear in their voice is what cracks me up every time. But I be like, you sound so proper. You sound so white. What is white?
What is white? Well, at work,
Well,
they
when
transfer
people
me
say
Spanish
white,
calls.
when I learned this a long time ago. When people say you sound so white, that means you sound so intelligent. You're pronunciating
crazy
your
to me.
words.
Damn, just slap me.
You sound
Like,
you
dang.
sound so correct.
Thank you guys. I get that.
That's what that means.
Why the hell I can't
Thank
just
you.
sound correct?
My mom
then?
taught me better.
I
That's what that
sound
sounds
white.
like.
Right. Yeah, I graduated.
Yeah, that's all.
Went to grade
know,
school.
I got a college degree.
Do you hear me?
So have everybody here on this camera experienced midlife crisis? If so, what was you going through at that time that you felt like you was experiencing?
Oh man.
I
One
had a
more
baby.
time.
Let's go back.
I had a baby.
Right. Kara, you going through a midlife crisis?
I had a baby.
Did you see?
Crystal said she had
A
baby.
baby.
A baby.
A baby. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the freak am I about to do with this kid?
Yeah, you grew the hell up real
Look
quick.
at my baby. What I'm supposed to do? I'm gonna teach you. Okay, I gotta think about this. I got to learn. I got to start all over. Okay, A, B, C. That's how you say the ABCs, how the song go. I started thinking about how you sing the songs. I'm thinking about, okay, roll your boat. Thinking of different stuff. I got a t-shirt. I started going crazy. Like, okay, I got to make the right money because she needs for college. And yep, I had a baby.
A midlife crisis is really just a transition. Whether you wake up from that transition in shock, because you like, oh shoot, what was I doing these last 5 years? Or if it was a slow wake up, slow transition. So when I go through a midlife crisis, to answer your question, Kiara, now that I've been through a couple beforehand, it was like the world's over.
I've been through
I have, and they've gotten better. The first one, I'm like, take me out. I'm done. I'm just not supposed to be here. I just hate this world. But now it's like I'm gonna figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hold on. I don't like where it's going. Let me calm down. Let
Exactly.
me breathe. Let me
That's
see
how I
what
felt.
am I doing. Now it's not so much of self-torment. It's more like self-reflection.
It started when I was pregnant with her. When I was on bed rest for all those months, I'm like, I ain't making no money. She gonna come here. What I'm gonna have? What I'm gonna have for her?
For me, it was like an outer body experience. That when I went through, I was stripped from everything. I lost my job, which caused my credit to fail. Things I was working on, I was unable to get because I didn't have the credit that I need. My savings was clearing out. My man wasn't acting right. And I'm sitting here like everything that was surrounding me, I feel like made me. Like it says, the doing. What are you without the doing? And when I wasn't doing anything, I'm sitting here like,
What the hell?
Mhm.
well, bitch, who are you?
There you go.
That's why I start losing
That's
weight.
it.
I was going through midlife crisis. Okay. midlife crisis. I was falling into postpartum depression. They like, oh, you failed the result test. You know, when you go take your kids to the doctor and they ask you these questions, they're like, oh, these tests. I'm like, you're not putting me on no paperwork. Like I'm going through midlife crisis because I'm sitting here like, okay, so I gotta be a parent. I'm already in Texas. I don't have no real life babysitters. She's starting to crawl. She's starting to move. Like, I have certain activities that I do that I need to tend to that I cannot do because she here. It's just all wrong. I'm hitting midlife crisis. Do I really want to be a mother? Is this really right? All over the place.
That's
Let me
real.
tell
Happy
y'all.
place though. We found a happy place. Like I found a way to manage it, but going into it, I cut off all my friends. I kind of distanced myself from everybody. It was really bad. And I didn't ever hit postpartum depression. It was just midlife crisis because I was going through a life change. I'm used to
transition.
I'm used to going, I'm used to partying, I'm used to living this life, and now I gotta change it. And it's for this little person. That was a
Mm.
change. You've been pregnant, complaining about it, and then to come out and it's here, and you have
Mhm.
to change that life. That's a whole nother thing.
Mhm.
Let me say
That's
this.
beautiful.
Let me tell you when I went through my midlife crisis. Sad but funny at the same time. I went through midlife crisis because, for one, I lost my son. I broke up with my baby daddy. I was with somebody else, and with that person, I would literally get up and be like, ah! Like I just be like, what the fuck? Like what's going on? I'm going crazy. I'm not getting dressed. Close the blinds. I'm going to sleep. Like, what is going on? Why are you here? Like that's the stuff I would do. And then boom, I'm pregnant. I got a belly with a whole 8-year-old. So then I was like, oh no, I don't want this baby. No. My 8-year-old is already grown. I'm starting over. Y'all, please help me. I had to call my friends. We had to have a whole reunion tonight. I was doing everything. I wasn't talking to nobody. My hair, y'all, I cut my hair off. Okay? I said, cut the shit. Just cut it.
She was like, why did you do that?
So I was going through midlife crisis based off this definition.
What's the definition?
I was dealing with multiple things at one time that I could not wrap my head around. And I was just like, why me? Type stuff. And then I had to slowly but surely start understanding each step that I went through. Because it's like every step happened at once. And then I got to degrade it each in between of trying to figure out each part of it to put the puzzle together to finally live a life. So yeah, I went through a huge.
What does the definition say?
So, per my lovely, she says, midlife crisis when you want to do you, not what you need to do, have to do, or what other people expect you to do, but do what you always wanted to do for you. It affects everyone differently. That's why I was like, I was in midlife. Like I wanted to live my best life and just do me.
That's good. That's
nothing
interesting though.
But
That's
yeah,
interesting though, because sometimes like when I went through one of mine, it kind of felt like I wasn't trying to be a better person. It was just something was going on. So maybe internally, spiritually, you know, God knows everything. Maybe spiritually, I was going through something and God has been telling me I need to do this. I need to think this way. I need to do this and be different. Maybe, you know, my flesh or something that I wasn't even understanding at that time. But that's interesting, that definition.
You know what's crazy though? I have experienced somebody saying at a young age that they were going through a midlife crisis. And before I really understood it, I'm like, girl, you're too young to go through a midlife crisis. Like,
Say that.
you barely.
I say that all the
18,
time.
You know, but now it's kind of like you can really go through one early. Your midlife crisis might be in your, you know, teen adult stage. So
Had a midlife crisis.
So right, like it
When I
affects
was-
everybody differently at different times in different ways.
In different ways.
I had a midlife crisis when I was about 23, 22, 23. I went to high school. I graduated high school. I went to college, got married, had a baby, moved out of town, away from all of my family to my other side of my family, got pregnant again, was already going through postpartum depression, separated from my marriage, came back down here, was doing it by myself, lost my job, lost my apartment, lost my car.
We need you to write a book. I'll buy.
And now, how are you the
Midlife
strong woman
crisis.
you are today?
I went through a midlife crisis pretty young, and I just kind of had to, what did I do to get out of it? I think one day my sister was like, Shan, you look like you got a black cloud over you.
You did. It was in the facility. I saw it. I felt it. It was not cute. Sorry.
People was telling me, I think people was asking my best friend if I was on drugs because I lost so much weight. I am not on crack. First of all, I'm sad. I don't know who the hell I am. So yeah, I went through a midlife crisis pretty young. And I just kind of had to tell myself, you need to get it the fuck together. Basically, I really had to tell myself that you need to get it together. Like you figuring it all out. It's okay to go through stuff. You're figuring it out.
So Crystal's
Get through
opinion,
it.
That's good.
to her opinion. When she said, Crystal's opinion, when she said, you like you got a black cloud over you, cloud over you. What's going on? Took heed in her.
I was
Oh yeah,
just
I
going
definitely
there.
took. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that wasn't the first time she had told me. She wasn't the only person who had told me, but when it came from my sister, I was like, okay, yeah.
So
You
probably are.
we have deep conversations. You know, we sit down and we actually talk. I share with her my flaws, my good, my bad, my ugly, whatever I share with her. Because I want her to feel comfortable with sharing it back with me. I'm not gonna judge you. I mean, even if you're my friend, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to still be here for you. So let's figure out how we can get out of this dark cloud together. Because the fact that you're in it, I feel like I'm in it with you. Because you know, you hold so much with me. So let's figure out together how we can get out of that. And if I know
Can I ask a question? Is because I do feel like, you know, we go through a lot. So is having a midlife crisis just the stuff that you tend to go through and deal with on an everyday basis? Because if that's the case, then my whole life been a midlife crisis. Honestly, so I'm trying to figure out and decipher the difference of, you know, actually having a good life and not going through midlife crisis and dealing with your obstacles and your battles that you deal with to help you grow and get over in life.
I think there's a difference.
I think there's a
Yeah,
difference
I
too.
think me too. Because I think of what Sade said as far as a transition. I think it's more so related to a transition.
so quickly.
Yes, a quick
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
adjust to it and figure out who you are after that transition, what you're gonna do after that transition.
Mm-hmm. Accepting the transition. It's like that whole situation.
So her question made me come to this question. So do y'all feel that a midlife crisis is what help people grow? Like is what a growing pain?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like that it happens more than once, or do you feel like you can have more than midlife crisis?
I think you have
Definitely. More than one.
Once too.
And I think based off what Sarah was saying is basically people just need to know how to identify if they're going through like a harsh or if it's their midlife crisis or
I will say that if your midlife crisis is repetitive, then I don't think it's a midlife crisis. I think it's a pattern that you just need to figure out. I think a midlife crisis is when you finally get it. You're like, this is not right. This is not good. I'm not doing this no more. What do I need to do to change this? And you have to change. That's what I feel like a midlife crisis is. Like it's gonna force change. It's not gonna be something that something long term and drawn out, and you keep doing it over and over again, you gonna know when it's a life change.
So I do
Yeah.
feel like a midlife crisis cannot be repeated. Like I feel like that. So in other words, you can't repeat the same midlife crisis.
I don't think so. That's my
I
opinion.
personally
my
feel like you
opinion.
cannot repeat.
I don't think you can
you
repeat
can.
it.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you can either.
But just
No, I
ask,
definitely can't repeat mine.
yeah, when it comes to midlife crisis and opinions, do you guys feel like it takes others' opinion or views or thoughts of what they see you going through in order for you to get out of that?
It
Like, it's
can.
gonna take somebody
I
else.
think it plays a role. I definitely think
Mhm.
it plays a role, but I also think it's
Or is it just
for
self?
It's self too. I think it plays a role, but it all deals with yourself and what you're ready to change within yourself. Because you got to see the change in yourself. Like, oh my God, I really just can't do this. So I got to change.
But what did it take that change to happen? Like, did someone point it out to you, or did you notice you was falling on your own?
I noticed.
I noticed.
I
Most of the
noticed.
time, you should notice. You should notice before anybody else notice.
Like,
Like
you want
Or
so
must
when
be
did you want to make a
things-
change?
other people's opinion for me didn't really play a factor just because I couldn't hear anybody. I was like, I was in a
You're black.
twilight zone. I was just moving. I was just a body. Like I couldn't hear nobody. Nothing nobody said to me made sense just because I wasn't in tune with myself. So no matter what anybody said, because I couldn't really hear me, I couldn't even hear my thoughts. What everybody else was saying, opinion didn't really matter.
So, okay,
That's for me.
I got you. What were you gonna say, Deanna?
Don't remember.
I think that's good because I think sometimes we can be in front of ourselves. We can be in our own way without even real. Sometimes we can get into something and not even realizing we putting ourselves in it because we just too strong or too powerful. And then, Ryan will probably tell me something about 10 times before I be like, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
But because he kept saying it, the fact that he kept, even though you didn't hear him the first time,
You know what happens in that moment, Crystal? Because I know you're about to say, it's not until I mess up or until I have an epiphany and then he'll look at me and be like, that's what I've been telling you. Like, yeah, you're right.
and then
Right.
you hear it. Okay.
Like it's like then I think about all the voices and I'm like,
That's what I was like. That's what I was
that's what they've been saying.
asking.
Then I
But
think
see-
about all the voices.
Oh, I've had that.
That people
happened
keep
to
telling
me
you,
the other
but yeah, you said it happened to you the
I
other
also
day.
think that some people go through their. Did you say something?
Deanna did.
You did.
I'm listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I also think that people, when they go through, like, sometimes people have their hand on you and they're blocking what you do need to do as far as change in life to deal with that. And I do think that there are people who hinder because they're always there to protect you or to make sure they have you so you don't fall. That when they finally take their hand off and you fall, then you get that epiphany. You're like, oh shit. Okay, I ain't got nobody but me now. Now I gotta figure it out.
When a perspective change.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Aisha said, sorry. She said, sometimes God shake things up because we are not listening to all the other signs that he's given us. So I believe she was speaking in reference to like the difference between midlife crisis and opposite.
Sometimes you gotta watch what you ask for. When you say, Lord, give me a sign, it always be the sign that you want.
Man, what? It don't be the signs.
You're like, wait, hold on. I wasn't expecting you to come down like this.
Not that hard.
So just going back to the question, basically when it comes to maintaining your happiness, how do you deal with negative opinions? Have y'all seen the post? Well, I sent it to everybody. I hope y'all seen it. The post, basically, there was a post going around where saying if you don't come out of the quarantine with a new skill, a side hustle, or more knowledge, basically, you never lack the time. You basically just lack discipline. And I saw a lot of people sharing it, agreeing, you know, that's their opinion. But then I also felt like that's not all the way true. Because it's a lot of people that are always on go. It's a lot of people that honestly, they may not be busy physically, but a lot of people be busy mentally. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. If you know what I mean, and you know what I mean. I don't really know how to explain it. But I just felt like that post was false. I feel like now is an okay time to just relax. It's an okay time to just take a breath, to just stop and take
Know yourself.
Because a lot of people, I feel like, move on autopilot. A lot of people wake up, go to work, get off work, go home, or get the kids, go home, however you do it. I hope you're picking up the kids first. Get the kids, go home, cook dinner, lay down, repeat. They're just moving. They're just moving, and they don't consciously think. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't exist. A lot of people don't even go outside and look up at the sun. They're just moving. Their
situation is different as well.
Yeah, so I feel like it's okay in this time to not do shit. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that.
A lot of people don't have the time or means to or the availability. Some people got a lot of things going on at home, so they can't just get up and go jogging. They can't go work out. They can't start a business. They can't work on their podcast. A lot of people don't even, because they got a lot going on. Or maybe they lost their job. They're just not in the right mental space. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay the next bill, because some people bills didn't stop when they have to go home.
Yeah.
So everybody's not going to come out with a whole different
persona.
Exactly.
And that's okay. That is.
But I'm with you, Chantel, when you said that whole mental thing. A lot of people, they live for everything else and everybody else in the world. This time right now is for them to get to sit down, put their feet up, and know they self, know what they like, what they don't like, you know, have that one-on-one time with the man above. Like, I've been having so many like beautiful dreams in reference to like, oh my God, it works. Like I told y'all the other day, I never fast before. I had the opportunity to fast. And I actually felt the meaning of it. Like people fast all day long and I'll be like, oh, that's just for their religion. Yeah, and like I never took it into full-blown consideration. But when you build that connection, you have the opportunity now to feel and see things that you possibly never seen before. So if you're not coming out with something, I'm not judging you, because we don't know what you was doing in that a long time.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Because I've grown.
I know that's right.
I think you should come out with the COVID-19 with something.
Yeah,
but
maybe if it's not
your opinion, your perspective.
Maybe if it's not a business or something, I do feel like yourself is so important. Do something drastically different that you would never have done before. Maybe it's pick up yoga, read a book, like do something. Don't just sit on the sofa and watch TV and gain weight. Like, I'm really trying to do something different. You know, just do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not take this time to just be like, just let me relax and just do something. Just come out of here doing something. Maybe, honestly, gain a education on finances. That's what I've been doing every day. I've been looking at stocks and looking at credit and looking at more, learn something.
Yeah. Thank you for alluding to that, Sade, because you're right.
No,
you
but
should,
my hair.
No.
Like
when I say relax, because Deanna backdoored off of it. Yes, it's okay to relax. It's okay. Yes, self-reflect. And I feel like when you self-reflect,
that's what I'm saying. You
then that
something.
will come. Yeah, I feel like when you figure out everything and you digest it all, I feel like naturally, boom, you might know what your next move is. Boom, you know what I'm saying? You might know what it is. You might find a hobby. You might find something that relaxes you. You might find something, you know what I'm saying, that you
that's true.
May find
you
out
might be higher on your spiritual.
Yeah, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to sit down, figure it out. And once you figure it out, you gonna know where you need to go once you figure it out. But don't,
because before I got to that point, I did sit down and take about 2 weeks.
And you figured it out.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Don't feel forced because so-and-so starting a business, you know what I'm saying, out of the blue. That might not work like that for you. So take a minute, self-reflect, like Crystal said, relax, breathe, whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
And then figure it out. So yes, Sade, thank you for.
But if you coming out of here with nothing,
I see what you're saying.
nothing, if you ain't have nothing, you ain't have a conversation with God.
Like 2
Tongue
months,
language.
2-3 months is a very long time just to sit around and just.
That's what I'm like. If you ain't come out with nothing, you at
Like
least
first 3 weeks, I cleaned the house.
Oh yeah, y'all. Don't be lazy. Don't be
don't be
lazy.
dirty. Wash up. Eat.
I told Ryan, I said, this COVID-19, either you're gonna come out of this worser than what you are or better than what you are at the end of the day.
But you're not gonna come out the same. I don't feel like nobody
You
is.
ain't gonna come out the same, but you
Nobody, even the people, the abusers, the victims, nobody is going to come out of this the same. It's either going to benefit some of us or it's going to tear some of us to a point of life to where we, but
Yeah, I feel like I'm coming out with my head bigger. It grows every day.
Okay.
What she say?
She feel like she coming out with her head bigger. It's growing every day. I mean, you is kind of close to that camera.
me, I'm starting to fall in love with the whole natural thing. I'm like, I get tired of putting on makeup.
Chantel backed up.
Backed up.
So, that's a curious question. Is it hard to commit to something that you feel that, or that you think that you can't do?
Yes.
I think so.
Like,
Because I do it all the time.
like,
Like doing hair. Or
Kidding.
doing, I wouldn't even say doing hair. I say doing makeup. I could do a pretty okay face.
pretty okay.
I can do a pretty okay face. I go people places all the time. Or not all the time, but like if I do really, really do my makeup, they'd be like, "Are you a makeup artist?" No, I just can do it on my own. But because I compare myself to other people's work sometimes. I look at other people and I be like, you can't do that. So I don't put the effort into even trying. I can sit at home all day and practice makeup. Y'all pointed me to a new thing. I guess I could practice makeup while I'm at the house. So yeah, to answer your question, me personally, yes, because I think I can't excel at beating the face. I don't even try.
I would have to say me being a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw myself starting anything. So the fact that I'm doing it is kind of hard.
Very hard.
Ups and downs. But the fact that it's being done it surprises me every day I wake up and it's like, okay, what am I gonna achieve today? What's my new mission? Even though I go to sleep worrying like, dang, am I gonna wake up to the same business or is it gonna be going out my hands?
That's
So.
good. Well, I'm a quitter. I quit everything. I quit.
That's
I'm
what
out.
I've been told.
Peace. I'm gone. Bye.
Is
See you
that
later.
your safety net?
No, that's just I don't know what that is. I think it's because growing up, I was always by myself. So I'm very comfortable by myself. And people, emotions, attitudes, opinions, it's too much. So my way of dealing with it is I'm gone. Like that little emoji was like ghost. I'm like, that's my way. But the lipstick den is helping me not be ghost a lot.
Where you at?
Like this, I'll be real with you. This circle here is the longest I have survived. It's like I'm in a video game and I am gaining levels. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell myself I am in this. Like I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die.
There's a goal to be accomplished. We are all Pac-Man and we making sure that all the Pac-Man survive this game.
And meanwhile, somebody chasing you behind you.
Right.
Just like those.
Yes.
Kiara, Sarah.
Do I think that I think I'm the opposite. When I feel like can I commit to something I think I can't do? Yes, because I take it on as a challenge. When I feel like I can't do something, it might be something impossible for me to do, which is actually a fault of mine. It's kind of like a negative on my end, one of my cons. Because if I'm trying to do something that I know I can't do, but I'm still going to try to keep doing it when I know that I can't do it. It's kind of like a fault as well. I do feel like I could do commit to something. Sometimes I commit to shit that I know I ain't supposed to be committing to and I can't do it. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we get it. What you put your head.
Sarah, you on mute.
Short answer.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering.
My bad.
I
It's
like
all
that.
right.
I understand.
For me, I think I get scared of coming out of comfort. So I'll tell myself, oh, you can't do it. You can't, that's not your area of expertise type stuff. But I have learned lately that even with being home during quarantine, I started studying on stuff that I would have never thought. And now I start putting my hands into different things. So I'm like, oh, it was that easy? Like,
That's it?
I doubted myself for this long for that. So I think it's just all about the try. You know, like when you're a kid and they always tell you, don't ever say I can't, don't use the word can't. You can, just try.
Yeah.
That's where it was for me. It was I can't, that's not for me. It's not, you know. Mm-mm. And then I would try and I'd be like, girl, was that easy? Oh yeah.
I agree. Do y'all feel that what was I gonna say? Does your place of employment, trying to go back a little bit, sorry y'all. Do y'all feel like your place of employment defines your identity? Like, I don't know if y'all can see, y'all probably can't see these pictures back here, but this side is like the rich folks. This side is the poor folks. They over here breaking leaves, they putting in work. Mama got the baby with her on the hill while she working. It's like traffic, but then you got the rich folks over here who just driving the luxury cars, living a nice life. They got money just floating. They just living their best life. But do y'all feel that? Sorry, my ankle really hurting. Do y'all feel that defines who a person is?
Huh, like Drake say, no, started from the bottom, now we here. Nope, you can be working wherever you're like. If you got an agenda, I feel like as long as you're doing the leg work on the back end to get there while you're still doing your everyday corporate world, McDonald's, wherever you're doing, that's not going to define you.
I think where you work sometimes do define your identity. Mm-hmm. I do think that when you go to a certain place and then you see how certain people are and how they have to act and how they have to take on certain things to be somewhere, you tend to take that on too if that's where you're trying to go. So your identity changes in the workplace, not saying it changes outside of work, but it might change within the workplace to be able to get where you're trying to go. So I think it can play a factor on.
So have you ever met somebody out and about, just talking to a casual conversation, and then they told you what they did, and in your mind you was like, dang, I didn't see them doing that for a living. Have you ever met somebody like that? Or just off of looking at them?
Yeah.
Because the way they look didn't look like.
Now, no. Nothing surprising.
Jesus. Yes.
And nothing surprises me now, but when I was younger, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you a manager, or you do this, you an owner of this, or you do that, or you do that?
It was more so I had a shock when I started in the corporate world. Like, these people were just putting on for personas, but when I get to know them, this motherfucker was a credit card scammer. This motherfucker was a flipped laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, I knew
all type of shit. And so now I've seen and heard so much to probably like I'm not surprised about anything anymore.
Yeah, or like that guy who dressed really horrible. He got the fat shoes on and he smell and his car is really bad, but he owns the Wizard technology place over there, and you had no idea that he was the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You better not be funky.
That's me. That's why I'm like, I don't.
I'm scared if you dress bad, but you better be basing.
But
what about your Lyft drivers? I'm pretty sure everybody on here didn't call a Lyft or Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, and you're riding with them, you're just having a casual conversation. Have y'all ever thought one thing when they was driving Lyft, but in reality, they was doing something different?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
type of assumptions when I get in Lyft.
I did that when we were in Atlanta. There's an African guy, and I thought he was just a Lyft driver. Like I never pictured him being in technology and creating an application that will change the world and change Black people as a whole for the things that they were dealing with. So I definitely think the looks, how someone looks is always prejudged. Because and it's not something that you do intentionally. You think about it. You just do it without trying.
You won't give me no lashes, no gloss.
Identity, because I just want to use an example. I don't know if y'all been watching Tory Lane live, but I know when he first came out, he was just very he wasn't much of a fit. He was I just watch a lot of his interviews, and he was like, I'll never trick on a woman. I'll never pay a woman to do this. And I'll never give a woman my money for doing what? What did she do special? She needs to be paying me. I did it for her. She needs to be paying me. He was just very into himself. This was an interview maybe about 7 months ago, but now we in quarantine and he bored, everybody's like, now he on live paying bitches 5,000 to bust it open. So I do feel like his work affects.
Tory.
It kind of changed a little bit.
Tory Lane's got a bad hairline on him.
Okay.
So in the comments, we got other people define you by where you work. I agree with that. I don't really feel like, other people do define you by where you work.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They judging you because they prejudge you. They don't know your story.
Yeah.
I mean, for you to get a job, that's how they look at you anyway from your resume, right?
That's what that is.
The only time I feel like someone's job would affect someone's identity, is if it's just kind of like on some illegal shit. Like if you steal people's identities, if you're a scammer, I feel like shit, you can't really get around that. You're not a good person at where you at.
All. You're not a good person at all.
Yeah. Not to say you might not come out of it, but just, I don't care why you're doing it, to be honest. To be quite honest, I don't feel like if you got to feed your family, if you take it away from somebody else's family, I feel like that's selfish.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Other than that, I don't really feel like your job.
I just thought about that. I do judge. I'm really judgy.
Girl,
I will judge you off
judgy.
of what you do. I will judge you off of how you do, how you act.
Yeah.
If you stay in the same place, I will think about why are you still there? Like, why are you doing this?
I said about managers at my own job.
I got it bad.
We judge on what people wear.
Okay.
I got it bad.
I don't
We
think they're
judge on
watching
what people wear. We'll look at their shoes and be like, girl, he ain't got no.
Yes, looking at the
Yeah.
shoes.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
You a
You
good
don't
one,
look at people's
Chantel,
shoes?
because I'm looking at those shoes.
What
I don't
about
do
their
that.
clothing or
I might look at somebody's clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have I know some Walmart shoes. If I see some Walmart shoes, I'll be like, damn, they got them hoes from Walmart. But that don't mean that I'm looking at them like they broke. Cause I know people that, you know what I'm saying, that got a whole bunch of money and they might shop at Walmart.
And they don't wear name brand clothes.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. Like I shop at Walmart. That's petty shit to me. Like I don't.
You're not judging them about that though. You could be judging them like
Yeah, that's true.
they dirty. You could say anything.
yeah,
Right.
So what I'm saying is more so as far as their identity. Like for instance, somebody from South Dallas who got a booty in his head, right? Come and try to holler at me.
Oh my
I would
God.
look at that booty, and I would be like, oh no, he one of them hood dudes I ain't got time from
I like
the
those,
South. And
You're being judged. I'm locking my car. I'm
Oh, but
clenching my
haircut,
fur.
Sarah.
Like,
I'm
Come
gonna
on
hold
now.
it.
The hood dude, but I like the booties.
I want to
I
say
don't
that's
like my
kind of
booty.
cute.
I'm
but
locking my car
you
door.
know, you never
clenching my
know what
head.
that type. You know, their identity
That's
might be
true.
something totally
That's
different
true.
than
I
what
get what you're
you're
saying,
looking
though.
at.
I do too. Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
how
true, though.
rare have you came across a dude with a booty that wasn't what you thought that he was?
Hey, people at work. You know,
Ryan
there's
said
something
everybody
has to be
with-
in corporate.
I caught what I said. I had to catch that. And no
So,
offense to
as
anybody
far
with
as-
dreads, but Ryan was like, because I was like, Ryan, I want dreads. He said, everybody with dreads is dirty. I said, that's not true.
Dang.
He did. I know, Crystal. He did. I said they're
that's how
not
I feel about
dirty.
red hair.
See why he would say that.
He said they don't do their hair. It's just
Yeah.
they just lazy.
I
He
did.
said they're lazy. That's what he said. They're lazy. I'm like, no, actually, it's a lot of work, and it's very
To
expensive
maintain.
to maintain.
Yeah.
You know how much it is to do them.
So as far as identity goes, have y'all ever wanted to take on some other culture's identity? Basically.
Just for their hair.
I was like, for their hair, and because they so friendly, I always think I'm Hispanic. Because I'm made weird.
Nah, I've
I
never
say
wanted to take on
Persian.
nobody
I want that
else's
Persian money. I like that gold. I like
But
that.
not
thick.
like for real. Like, no. Mm-mm.
No, I love my
To change
brown.
my
hair.
identity. Like, I never say, oh, I wish I was blah, blah, blah. No. But if we
Never wanted to take over their identity, but I did wanted to maybe take on a task that they feel like they can do better to prove them like y'all not the only ones that can do it.
I
But never to the point to where I want to be you now.
never.
I don't, it's not, for me, it's not to a point that I want to be it. I love my culture, but I do think there are things from other cultures that I would like to take on to implement into my life that can probably better me as far as how I think and look at things. So there are things that other cultures have that, you know, they might do better, or they might have down. Like, and I'm like, okay, shoot, maybe I need to try to figure that out for myself, in my culture. Maybe it'll work. So I do look at other cultures,
Yes.
and not just to help mold me, so I'm very diverse within myself and within my culture.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like
I guess
financial
I
literacy.
kind of get what y'all saying. I was finna say no, I don't do that. I don't look at no other culture and be like, I want to take on what they doing. But I do see what you're, because when I hear that, I kind of feel like it's it could be my brain and the way I'm thinking of it. I took it negative, like,
I don't want to be them.
yeah, not even that I don't want to be them, but it's like, are they just known for that? Like, black people can't be known for that too? What exactly are you saying? Is kind of what I was thinking. But then I thought about how Hispanics are very family oriented. And it could be like a whole bunch of them living in one house.
A whole bunch of
They know
them.
how to move in together and save money.
That's what,
So
but
I
I
guess
do like
stuff
that
like
trait.
that. I
Mhm.
guess stuff like that I would, I kind of respect. I get. Exactly. We do that. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, it's kind of, I get it, but then it's like at the same time, I don't have to look to another culture just to, I don't gotta look to another culture just to be inspired. I feel like it's, you know what I'm saying, it's people within my own culture
You
that
got
I can look at and get inspiration from.
I play
I
that
agree.
song. Anything you could do, I can do better. That's what I'll be thinking.
Everything.
I can do anything
Anything better than you.
Okay.
Sorry. Always compare, because I grew up in a very diverse school, and I just used to always compare my friends in elementary, middle school, not much to high school, relationship when it came to their family, when it came to their friends, how I would always compare it. And I'm like, well, I can't be a part of what they got going on. White friends, because it's just like they was still fed with a silver spoon. And I'm like, why gotta be born in this family? Why gotta be born to a white family? God damn it. But that was the only time where I felt like I wanted to be a part of another culture. Right now, the only thing I was saying be part of another culture is exactly what you said, Shane. That's what I was gonna hit on as well. As far as like coming togetherness. That's what I was saying. Josie.
Y'all
Yeah.
seen the show Dear White People on Netflix?
Yes, I watched it.
So do y'all feel that they were trying to be a part of each other's cultures?
I think so in a way.
Or trying to
In
be
a way,
They
yeah.
were so
They're trying to
intimidated
learn
by each other.
each
They
other's
were so
culture.
intimidated by each other that they
Real
was
world.
trying to.
haven't seen
Real
it.
world.
Yeah. She hasn't seen it.
Oh,
She hasn't seen it.
I haven't watched it yet.
you gotta watch it, Shan. It's nice. Just know at the end she ended up being not with a brother. And everybody was like, they had like, it's how it is. How it be. Like opinions, going back to opinions. How people let that interfere in their lifestyle because I feel like what you was asking, Crystal, they was too busy. We do stuff like this, y'all do stuff like this, but at the same time, we are doing it the same way. They ability. Somebody wanted to be in charge. It had to be. You got to watch the TV show. It's a
I'll
good.
watch it.
Yeah, but that
Definitely.
was my point. What you just said, Deanna, that they were so trying to do what each other's doing, but at the same time they're doing the same thing.
They was doing the exact same thing.
They were trying to be each other so much, but they were doing the same thing. It's a good show if you haven't seen it. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Lockdown series, of course, episode 3. Who are you without the doing? Like always, we always enjoy y'all. It's always good times.
I hope he said some stuff that kind of made you like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Epiphanize some stuff. If not, I get it, I understand.
And then don't be afraid to share in your comments about what we should talk about next. If y'all have something y'all want us to share or talk about, or maybe if you're interested in joining, don't be afraid to put in the comments and just say, hey, I want, if y'all can give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to talk about this, I would love to come on and talk with y'all. Don't be afraid. Put in the comments, talk to us. We like to talk back. We love making friends. Meet us in the den whenever y'all ready.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Night. Are we still live?
No, we're off.